For people who are not new to this channel, you would know that there are a few things I prioritize when playing this game of Magic Chess. The first is the reproducibility of a lineup. That is, can I build this lineup consistently every game? Is there a specific set of steps I can follow, utilizing a specific commander skill to achieve this lineup every single time I try? If a strategy is going to rely on me getting an orange hero at a 1% spawn rate, then I will not use that strategy. The second is positioning rules. That is still a relatively minor one, as positioning values change per time and is subject to variation depending on the situation of a game. It is, however, something you can influence, unlike equipment. The third and final one is the gold progression. Gold management in Magic Chess cannot be stressed enough. You need the money to fund your war plans. You want to get an orange hero to 3-star? Do you know how much that costs? 45 gold. That's equal to the total basic rewards you get in the whole placement stage. Not to mention that you still have to consider the fact that it costs 150 gold to go to the commander level, which has the maximum spawn rate for orange heroes. How then do you intend to get an orange hero to 3-star, which requires that you earn at least 195 gold if your gold management is subpar? And this does not account for the fact that you have to get the other heroes to at least 2-star if you want to survive long enough to even have a shot of getting your orange hero to 3-star. Personally, I believe commander skills like Feast and Windfall have ruined the gold management mindset of players. The same can be said about the Ablaze bounties and Future Tech synergies. Now, these commander skills and synergies exist for a reason, yes, but if you get dependent on them so much so that you cannot play without them, it becomes a problem. I mentioned this in one of my earlier videos and I'll say it again. Players need to sit down once in a while and play with Harper. Play a commander skill that does not have any impact on the game and simply allows you to survive. When your commander skill does not directly add anything to your game, you will be reminded of what the game is supposed to be. Before I digress too far, the topic of today's video is centered on gold management, particularly in the early game. The early game here refers to the planning stage and maybe the next 2 rounds before the primary star core. How can you most efficiently manage your gold at this stage? That is what I am going to be discussing in this video, as well as analyzing as many strategies as I have seen players employ. If you enjoy the topic, make sure to like the video and write down your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to hear other players' opinion on this topic in particular, as it is one which I also want to understand a little more of, because I'm going to say things about every strategy here. If there's anything you don't agree with, let me know in the comments. And if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing. I do guides, tutorials and commentary on the game. I also stream gameplay once in a while, but it is mostly just a hangout to subscribers. If you enjoy, again, don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's dive into the heart of today's video. The early game comprises of the starting creep defense round, the 3-player rounds that come after, and the first fate box. After picking a blue hero in the selection stage, you are given that blue hero as well as a green and a grey hero as the starting heroes. You are given 2 gold and start at commander level 3, which allows you to deploy the 3 heroes you are given at the start, and it will cost you 2 gold to go to commander level 4 or 1 gold if you have a chessboard. Every player generally finishes this round in the same way. Deploy 3 heroes to fight the creeps. There is always the oddball who loses this round on purpose for whatever reason. Some due to lag, and some genuinely believe that the battle spells are a waste of space and would rather not pick them. Anyway, we all safely cross this first round and we get 6 gold. 5 as the basic reward for surviving a round in the planning stage, and another 1 for winning the creep defense round. So, assuming you did not buy a hero in this round, you will have 8 gold going into round 2. Now, this is where strategies start to differ, and what makes them different is a simple thing: the round on which they upgrade to commander level 5. We will explore each of the 4 possibilities. The first is upgrading to commander level 5 on round 2, which at this point would cost 7 gold. This is possible, however it is a big waste, because unless you are using a commander skill, which will give you gold at this stage, you will not have any gold to buy another hero. This means you will just have the capacity without the heroes, which will most likely result in you losing the round. Then you will gain 5 gold, then lose again, and lose again because you don't have the heroes, resulting in a completely destroyed economy. The only time this strategy is allowed is when Windfall is the commander skill, as it gives you a lot of gold early game, and it does not have adverse effects on interest later on. I mean, you cannot save interest with this skill anyway. The second is upgrading to commander level 5 on round 3, which at this point will cost 5 gold. Usually at this point a player will have at least 10 gold, which means they can start saving interest. Upgrading to commander level 5 at this point means you do not care about interest yet and are more concerned about winning the round. This is a double-edged sword. I should also preface in saying that doing this is recommended only if you won round 2, so that you can start a win streak. Now let's go back to the double-edged sword. If you do this without winning round 2, then win round 3, you will not have a streak, which means less gold. 9 times out of 10, or even every single time, you will go to round 4 without having 10 gold, which means you will lose out on interest. If somehow you manage to lose round 4 as well, just know your economy is dead. It's a very inefficient play in which the risk completely outweighs the reward. Sure, if you won round 2, you can take that risk, because if you win round 2 and round 3 under this strategy, you'll get enough to reach 10 gold and some interest. If you win round 4 as well, then believe me, you will have a very smooth early game. But win streaks are not very easy to maintain early game, so you are playing with bankruptcy, which can be very difficult to come back from. The third and most common strategy is upgrading to commander level 5 on round 4, which at this point will cost 3 gold. You need 20 gold to get the 4 gold interest. Most of the time, after factoring in the gold spent on buying heroes, you will usually have 17, 18 or 19 gold on this round. If you have 19 gold, you can risk not upgrading to commander level 5 and bet on the chance that you will win the round. Get the 1 gold needed to reach 20 gold and gain your 4 gold interest. But if you take that bet and lose, you will not have the interest, you will waste 2 gold and you will possibly lose your streak. Now, upgrading to commander level 5 here will not get you the interest anyway, but it will increase your chances of maintaining your streak at this point. Then again, if you upgrade to commander level 5 and still lose, then you've lost the gambit. It was just a risk you took. However, it does not have much effect on your economy, as after factoring the basic rewards for winning the round, you will have 20 gold at the start of placement. You will notice I mentioned streaks a lot when discussing the earlier 3 strategies. This is because early game, a win or loss streak of 3 is a lot of gold. A total of 6 extra gold for a win streak and a total of 3 extra gold for loss streaks. Of course, you weren't expecting that win and loss streaks would give you the same amount of gold, now were you? The difference between the two is that you get 1 gold for winning the round, so it's pretty much still the same. The fourth and final strategy is upgrading to commander level 5 at the start of the placement stage, which at this point would cost 1 gold. By the way, the upgrade costs mentioned in these strategies assume that you have a chessboard. To maximize the effect of this strategy, it is recommended that you maintain a loss streak of 3 in the planning stage. This also means you will get the first pick in the fate box. You will also get a massive amount of gold, as you would have 20 gold on round 4, allowing you to maintain your 4 gold interest. Another thing to do to maximize the effect of this strategy is to not spend any gold on purchasing heroes in the planning stage, or if you have to, do it in a very calculated and controlled manner. You can buy and upgrade grey heroes to 2-star, however green and blue heroes should be avoided. This is simply because 2 gold or 3 gold is a lot in the early game. This is the strategy I personally employ because it is the most consistent. I will also explain how it goes until the deep late game in this video, so don't click off yet. First, let's go back to the very beginning. If my starting heroes do not have a synergy, and if a hero with a synergy is not available in the shop, I hold on to the blue hero and buy a grey hero with it. I sell the green hero. This way I will have 10 gold on round 2. I will lose the round, of course, and gain 7 gold, to a total of 17 gold. On round 3, I spend a maximum of 5 gold on heroes, leaving me with 12 gold. The idea is to lose round 3 as well. This way I gain 8 gold, 5 from basic rewards, 2 from interest, and 1 from the loss streak, for a total of 20 gold. I then lose round 4 as well. This way I gain 11 gold, 5 from basic rewards, 4 from interest, and 2 from the loss streak. One thing I need to point out is that because a lot of players are so aggressive and upgrade to commander level 5 with 2-star heroes and whatnot, we might take a lot of damage in this stage. But in Nigeria there is something we call initial gragra, which describes a state of being too proactive in the initial stages of an event and not being able to maintain that energy until the later parts. Moving on to the placement stage and beyond. The basic idea is to save up the basic rewards and spend the interest, streak gold and synergy gold. When the basic rewards that have been saved up reach the amount required to upgrade the commander level, I upgrade the commander level. Why I only use the basic rewards is that the basic rewards are constant, regardless of winning or losing, which fulfills my personal criteria of a strategy must be consistent. So on round 5, I spend all my gold down to 20 gold. At the end, I gain 6 gold as the basic reward and whatever extra. Therefore, on round 6, I spend the extra gold and drop my gold down to 26. I will gain another 6 gold as basic rewards, making a total of 12 saved up. On round 7, I upgrade to commander level 6 because at this point, it costs 12 gold, which is equal to how much I have saved up. Notice that this does not affect whether I am winning or losing, therefore it is consistent. On round 8, I drop my gold to 26. On round 9, I drop the gold to 32. On round 10, I upgrade to commander level 7. This part is a modification to my previous video, so let me explain. Following the 2 gold reduction in commander level upgrades, on round 10 it would cost 22 gold to upgrade to commander level 7. If I am saving the placement stage basic rewards, I would have 38 gold, that is 18 gold saved up. Now remember that I will also get 4 gold constantly as interest every round. If I add that 4 gold to the 18 I have saved up, I would have 22 gold, which is enough to upgrade to commander level 7 comfortably. Streaks are very easy to manipulate early game, but in the mid game it becomes more difficult unless you are lucky. Therefore, to remove the element of luck, I came up with this system which is very consistent and gives me results. Let's move on. Round 11, first round of the showdown stage, which gives 7 gold as basic rewards. This means in this stage I save 7 gold every round. On round 11 my savings would be 6 gold, the reward for surviving round 10, which is the last round of the placement stage. Basically, I'll hold 26 gold on round 11. On round 12, I'll hold 33 gold, that is my savings would be 13 gold. On round 13, I'll hold 40 gold, that is my savings would be 20 gold. Remember that round 13 is a creep defense round. On round 14, my savings would be 27 gold, but I upgrade to commander level 8. Here's how. On round 14, my savings would be 27 gold, right? I can add my 4 gold interest and make it 31 gold. But on round 14 it would cost 32 gold to upgrade to commander level 8. I'm 1 gold short. So how am I doing it? Remember that round 13 is a creep defense round, that means there's no risk of losing. Therefore on round 13, instead of saving 20 gold, I save 21 by removing one of my interest. This way I can get to commander level 8. I will stop here because this is the limit of where you can go if you don't win any rounds. Unless you do not get any heroes at all for your synergy and or are completely overpowered. You will always get to this point even if on your last life. In that case, you can spend all the gold refreshing for a comeback. If you are comfortable, you can follow the rest of the process and get to commander level 9 on round 18 or 19. What are the advantages of this strategy I'm sharing with you guys? For starters, it is the most consistent strategy you will ever find. It does not factor in any commander skills, it does not factor in any synergies, which means you can use this for whatever you want. If you lose before round 14, then that means either the combo you are trying to use is too weak or you were incredibly unlucky. Remember that there is an element of luck in this game, and here is an extreme situation of where it could be your downfall. I have been using this strategy consistently this season and it has worked wonders for me, and it will continue to work wonders in the next season and beyond actually. What are the disadvantages of this strategy? I mentioned one already. It is not 100% immune to luck. It is a risk-free strategy, and as such you would lose to somebody who took a big risk and got a bigger reward. But if you are like me and do not like taking risks, you will enjoy this strategy. The second disadvantage, of course, is that it is fairly complicated and requires diligence. But once you get the hang, it's smooth sailing. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope I was able to highlight the differences between all the early game strategies and explain the peculiarities of each with their individual risks and rewards. And I hope I was able to convince you to try my special strategy. Let me know how it goes in the comments. If you enjoyed, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.